July, Assassin's Creed Black Flag Resynced. I'm very excited about that.
Yes, definitely. 100% Assassin's Creed Black Flag.
Also, August 4th, Beast of Reincarnation. It's the first Pokemon game non-Pokemon game by Game Freak in a long time on a major console. So that technically falls into August or into summer. And because it will still be hot here in September, the Blood of the Dawnwalker and Wolverine are in September. So yeah, I'm excited for a couple of games.
Yeah, but there's no heavy hitters coming out, I feel like.
Not till September.
Yeah.
I mean, like Starfox, which we'll talk about. But
yes, yeah. I don't think either of us will play it, but I guess we'll see. All right, hello.
Let me pay $70 for something I could beat in 2 hours. That sounds fun.
Hello and welcome everyone to episode 121 of the GGG Podcast. As always, I am Paul and I am joined by my co-host Phil. We got a good show for you this week. Lots of little releases and lots of news this week. Mixtape that came out last week has been getting amazing reviews. The day after we recorded this, Starfox was announced, so we're definitely going to be talking about that. And then we got some Marvel Rivals news, some Game Pass news, and some Alien news if you're into the Alien franchise. But before we get into all of that, if you haven't already liked and subscribed to the YouTube channel, we would greatly appreciate it. And if you're listening to the audio only version on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, follow us over there as well. Philbo, what's been going on? What have you been playing this week? Has it been the same or have we been mixing it up?
It's been very different. I think last week I was playing Saros a lot. I think that was the maybe if I don't know if that came out after, but this week has been marked by a lot of different games. Specifically, here I tried Mixtape for about 20 minutes, and I was like, maybe later Mixtape. But what has stolen my heart is an old flame. Battlefield 6 has come back in a big way. For some reason, I've been back in there.
Wow.
Marvel Rivals, which we're going to talk about, so I'm excited to have a little bit of experience with the current meta there. But probably, and of course, Crimson Desert is always going to be there. I'm always going to log in for a few hours and get lost. But two new games that came out last week, Everything is Crap and Dead as Disco, entered its early access.
Yeah.
We talked about Dead as Disco.
We did. I love it. I'm very intrigued. I want to play it.
But yeah, that's what I've been playing. It's been a little bit of everything. A lot of time kind of just Everything is Crap. We'll talk a little bit more about it later, but it's a real fun roguelike. And yeah, that's about it. What about you, Paul?
Similar things. I've been playing Saros. I definitely feel like I'm starting to hit a little bit of a wall with it. Where like I do make progress, but again, man, it's just I've tried reframing the best I can, but with roguelites, it's like after I do like 2 runs, maybe 3, maybe I'll do a 3rd run. After I die on like that 3rd time, I'm just like, I've played enough. And sometimes that's like, okay, I played for 1 hour. So, and it's hard to make, headway in a game like that because I just feel like, and I'm starting over. So even with the changes that they have made, and I will say like every time I do die and start over, I have enough experience to get like a couple of upgrades. So it's like, all right, I have a little bit more speed, a little bit more health. So that stuff does help, but I definitely, I'm not making the same progress I was at the beginning of the game. And then, what else have I been playing? Less Fortnite this week. Been playing Diablo, really. That's been the main one. I finished the Lord of Hatred campaign. So now I'm, in the grindy MMO ness of Diablo 4. And I know I said this last week, but now that I've officially beaten the campaign, I have to say the campaign was pretty good. Like, I'd say the best part about it is also the most disappointing part about when Diablo 4 originally came out, which is that when you beat Diablo 4 when it originally came out, you just kind of felt like, oh, okay, that wasn't really the end of the story. This is just the launching to the live service. And Lord of Hatred really felt like, okay, we're actually wrapping up the whole story that Diablo 4 set out to do. So it feels like a completion of that story, which is nice. But it sucks that we had to wait for 2 DLCs before that happened.
Yeah.
So
I mean, that's one on my list of games that I am excited about, and that is when it drops in price a little bit. That is like when it's a $20 DLC.
yeah.
I'm so in for that game.
Yeah, it probably will go on sale. But yeah, it's definitely interesting. I will say, like, I think I talked about it before, but having the paladin with all like the heavenly abilities and everything like that, and that minor spoiler alert, they bring Tyrael back from Diablo 3. And so, like, being a paladin and having Tyrael there is pretty badass. You feel pretty badass. So really having a good time with that. But then, yeah, it's just been a little light gaming here, light gaming there. That's mostly been my grind this last week. So, all right, let us get into this week's major game releases. First up, you've been playing a lot of it. Everything is Crab. What is actually happening in Everything is Crab? Because what a title, first of all.
So Everything is Crab is a roguelike game. The title is a reference to, I can't remember what the term is for it. There's an exact word, but basically in evolution we are finding that eventually everything evolves into a crab or crab-like species. Like that is, they are just the most optical, not optical. They're one of the most optimal and very efficient. Yeah, things that there are. They are optical because they do have eyes on stalks. But because of that, the game is about evolution. And I would say it's something like Vampire Survivors. It's a little bit more in depth because you are actually like attacking with your different abilities and moving around. It's kind of like that level in Spore when you were like actually a little thing going around eating other stuff and getting evolution points. So as you evolve, you get different things. Like you can get jaws for an extra attack, which your little character sprite who starts as this blue blob will all of a sudden have jaws, and then you can get them antlers or like a carapace, and he'll get like a little bug armor. And as you go, you just evolve and evolve and evolve to like form a different cool little creature every time. It's really cute graphics. The challenge is pretty great, and yeah, it's definitely something you can sink a lot of hours into, and there's like lots of levels of progression to it. So something if you want a great like Super Nintendo style graphics game. I think it's $8 right now.
Oh, okay.
Great deal.
And this is only on Steam, yeah? Okay.
It would be so good on the Switch too, or the regular Switch, or
I mean,
anything.
You said it was like Nintendo, like, so yeah, I immediately went there. All right, next up, we got the Dark Pictures Anthology Directive 80/20. I've seen reviews all over the place for this, but mostly negative. Is that the vibe with this?
That's the vibe. I mean, like, listen, it's a Dark Pictures game. They've been doing this for a while. They did that game that became a movie that everybody also hated. Yeah, this is, it's their horror thing. It's very fun, I think, for like a single playthrough if you like horror. This is, but you're not like the hugest gamer, but you have someone in your life that wants to do gaming stuff. This is a great option. And supposedly this one is about like kind of a thing vibe where there is someone on your space crew on your ship that is a mimic, and you're trying to like figure out who it is.
Okay.
Yeah. Which I think is like kind of great for this type of game where you're doing a lot of social deduction, that stuff. And I think maybe that's what the 80/20 is kind of a vibe towards, where you're like, you're either 80-20% sure that someone's not a mimic or whatever. Like, I think that is, that might also be the time it takes place, but that's, I think, the cute little thing they're doing with the title. So, yeah.
Okay. Right on. Cool. All right, and next up, Subnautica 2. This game, a lot of people have been anticipating this for a very long time. We've talked about it. Also, a lot of the drama going on with its production and everything like that, and people asking AI for how to screw people over. Who'd have thought that AI would be used for that? Oh my God. For bad, for evil.
Well, you mean people would do bad things?
Yeah, it's crazy that no one like considered that. But yeah, so Subnautica 2, a lot of people have been anticipating it. Obviously builds right on top of what Subnautica 1 did. And I have to say, like, graphically, it looks amazing. I hope it runs as well as like the demos and videos that have been released that we've seen about it. This is a survival craft slash adventure exploration game. I love survival crafting games. I'm heavily considering getting this, but I don't know if I have like a fear or like some sort of phobia of like being under the water, because I really struggled with Subnautica 1. So
Yeah.
where I'd get attacked by a fish. I was like, nope, I'm out. I don't dig all these dimensions. Like being able to just run away this way.
I feel you there. I think this type of game, like the ocean, is definitely scary to me. It's a big unlit mass that has things that can kill you, and they're in their element. So it's a very scary game to me, but I feel like the game also rewards you for conquering that fear a little bit.
Absolutely.
And the build craft is just so good in this game. This one is the multiplayer one after the popularity of the last two Subnautica games, so that's a big pull. But I think all the controversy makes me wonder, like, is this game going to be good, or is all the controversy that we've been hearing around it the thing that's going to doom it,
Yeah, I'm hoping that that the extra time that was taken, because this game was originally supposed to come out like 6 months ago, I think. So I'm hoping that, obviously a lot of things are going on in the company, but I'm hoping that that extra time actually made the game better, even though if that wasn't really originally the intention. So yeah, I'm very curious to see reviews. I'm a little worried that we haven't seen any reviews yet, which means that they are not doing the review embargo, until the game actually comes out. So that's a little concerning right there. But
Well, one thing is it might be the fact that it is an early access release, so maybe no one else has access to it, type of thing.
yeah, but I feel like this is as far as early access games, this is like a high level early access game. And there's been a lot of money invested into this game, and I get that it's releasing on early access, but this is something that companies just use to get around the standards of not releasing it early access, where we're still patching it and there's still more content coming and everything like that. So I feel like with a high profile early access game like this, there should have been some sort of review, or at least a preview that reviewers were able to look at before the game releases. So
more final previews or something,
Yeah. All right. What's next up on our release list, Phil?
Well, this just launched today, Call of the Elder Gods, which I believe is a sequel to another. So 2020's critically acclaimed Call of the Sea. So this is, I would say, kind of a point-and-click adventure / kind of a first-person puzzle game.
Okay.
Along the lines of like The Witness, obviously Call of the Sea. It is a Lovecraftian horror mystery game where I think you're exploring the city of Rylek, which is like where Cthulhu's base is. So all that's very exciting. It is available on Game Pass today. Same thing with Subnautica. On release date, it will be available on Game Pass. And yeah, I think there's a lot of people out there who love these type of games. It is personally not for me, but I think it's something worth talking about, because like people really do like their puzzle games, and I feel like this is kind of an evolution of that. It feels like puzzle game meets a little bit of like BioShock vibes. There's like characters you interact with and talk with, so yeah.
Okay, it sounds really cool, and I don't think there's a lot of games like that come out. So I had not heard of it before this moment. And all right, what's Black Jacket?
Black Jacket is a game that I would classify like Inscription. It is a card game where you're competing with someone who you have some sort of, I guess, very deadly competition with them, but you're playing blackjack against them, which is a pretty interesting thing. And I think you get different cards that give you like different modifiers, all this stuff. So there's a story there, and its art style is very like, it's a cartoony version of Inscription. Like, it's very dark and dreary. So looks pretty good. I'm excited to try it out. Okay. Also available on Game Pass.
All right. We're going to talk more about Game Pass later. But let's talk about Mixtape that came out last week. So we brought it up, and I think it was the next day I was scrolling and seeing Mixtape getting these crazy good reviews. It's holding at an 85 on Metacritic, which is not like insane, but I know IGN gave it a 10. And lots of other places are giving it 9s and 10s. So very encouraging there. I've heard some common criticisms of it, though, that the gameplay is very simplistic and that it's more of a experience than it is a video game, which I think is fine. But I think that just kind of makes it, it's like its own little genre. Because we've talked about Dispatch a lot on this show, but at least in Dispatch, you are making decisions and there are different pathways that you can go down in the story. Whereas I think Mixtape is very much of, this is a set story and you are playing through this experience. You're playing through this short television series and whatnot. But people are absolutely loving it, and the artistry that is being used of particularly with all of the music that's being used, people are absolutely in love with. I think that the music tastes have been a little older, so they're probably a little bit more appealing to our generation than younger kids right now. I'm always happy to see another like really well thought out narrative experience come out on as a video game. And even if most of the gameplay is like, press this button, press that button. Not everything needs to be some hardcore Souls-like experience. Has seeing this game get these reviews, has this moved the needle for you as far as like checking it out at all?
Yeah. So again, this game's available on Game Pass. So, Game Pass is having the week of its life right now.
Okay.
I downloaded it and I started to play it. It's definitely something that I personally have to be like in the mood for,
right?
Because it is a lot of like watching people do things, but it also feels very like genuine to being a kid of the late '90s, early 2000s. That feels like very much a millennial idealized adolescence.
Yes,
and there's a really great bit where you're like, it's early on in the game. I only got like very little.
Sure.
But you're kind of skateboarding down this hill, longboarding sort of, and you hear one of your friends behind you go, "I've got the speed wobbles," which just feels very like that was, I don't know. It brought something visceral in me because I remember being a kid in high school and like longboarding down hills and hearing my friends do that right before they wiped out. It's great. It feels very authentic, which is cool, but again, I'm gonna have to be really in the mood to like kind of watch something and then I like have to progress it. You know what I mean?
It's kind of like I was watching. It took me a long time to watch one battle after another this year. And I think it was because like, well, it's a 3-hour movie, and so I have to be in the right mood of like, I need to sit down, and this is not a movie you're gonna want to watch while you're scrolling your phone. Like, you need to give it your full attention. So you definitely, Mixtape seems in that, not in the same like method of storytelling as one battle after another, but it requires that level of like, I'm gonna set aside time to do this. So
exactly.
So right on. Excited to hear more. My partner is playing through it right now as well. All right. Next up, the Humble Bundle Spring Sale is going on right now. It's been going on for the last 5 days and is running until May 28th. So pretty much the majority of this month. And there are a lot of good games. We have a list here of some of the more popular ones. Some of them are on big sales. Some of them are like $2 off. So, but notable ones for me, Absalom is on sale. Alan Wake is on sale. Balaltro, Blue Prince is great. Clair Obscur is down from $50 to $40, so it's kind of like Also, if you haven't bought Clair Obscur Expedition 33 by now, I kind of don't think that you're gonna.
I don't think $10 is gonna make a difference for sure.
Yeah,
for those people.
Exactly. Newer games, Windrose, that just came out in early access, is on a slight sale. Valheim, my favorite survival craft of all time, is only $10, which is a steal. If you've never played Valheim, it is definitely worth the $10. And then, yeah, some bigger high-profile games, Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, Indiana Jones and the Great Circle, Hollow Knight Silk Song. It is, I feel like this is a heavy indication that we're getting into summer now, because we're hitting the summer sales that go on. We were talking about, as we started recording, not a lot of big heavy hitters coming out this summer. We got to wait until September. And so this is what summer's for. It's for getting Peak for $5 instead of $8. It's for getting Kingdom Come Deliverance.
That's a great deal.
It is a great deal. It's a great game with your friends.
Kingdom Come Deliverance is half off, which is pretty good.
Yeah.
That game came out 2025, I believe. And it's to a lot of fanfare. If you enjoy that type of game, this is a great deal at $30. Here's a game that I see all the time on sale, and I have heard nothing but good things.
Mm-hmm.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Splintered Fate.
Oh, my God.
This game is I would say a Hades-like. It's a roguelike game where you play as the different turtles. There's a multiplayer aspect to it. Mm-hmm. And you get different abilities on each run, level up over time. But it plays a lot like Hades, where it's the top down, and you are timing out and doing your attacks that way. So for $3, pretty good deal.
I will say this list that we are looking at is a little deceiving. It's actually $7.50 on the Humble Store for whatever reason. So I know that there was a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles game that got reviewed poorly. I guess it wasn't this one.
Maybe it was this one. I don't know how people be reviewing things out there.
I'm going to look it up on Metacritic and see how it's doing. No, this one's got a 76, so that's good.
That's pretty good.
A 73, that's fine. For a little Ninja Turtle game, why not? But yeah, lots of good games. I'm excited to see what is going to be on the Steam sale, but it's probably going to be a lot of similar games that we're seeing for the Humble Bundle. All right, pressing right along, Aliens Fireteam Elite 2 got announced last week. This is a follow-up to Aliens Fireteam Elite, which I believe it came out in 2020 or maybe 2021. So it's been some time, and I don't know. I think we're starting to see this weird genre creep in where I feel like Alien games and Predator games were not really a thing 7 years ago, and then in the pandemic, Alien and Predator started becoming its own video game genre, and now it's really catching on. I played a lot of the Predator game, which actually just got an update, which I couldn't believe. Got an update recently. This is the Predator game, for people who are not familiar. It was a 5-player multiplayer mode where you had a squad of 4 humans, and then you had someone who played as the Predator who was hunting you, and you fought NPCs, and then
an asymmetric Predator game, yeah, right?
Yeah.
Like Evolve, kind of.
Yes, it very much like Evolved. And it was actually a lot of fun, but it's so old that I think I played it on my PlayStation 4. So yeah, but now we got Fireteam Elite 2. I love the standard 4-person cooperative. We're shooting aliens and everything like that. So this is definitely a genre that speaks to me. I didn't really think that the first Fireteam Elite was that successful, so I'm kind of surprised to see a sequel. Do you know anyone who played the first Aliens Fireteam?
I played it for a solid 20 minutes. It is, I think it was on PlayStation Plus at some point, but it is, I would say it's double A gaming, modern double A gaming at its finest. It is the type of game that, it's a licensed game, so it gets kind of a name bump. But besides that, I would say is probably as close to indie as you can get in terms of their production design. It is just meat and potatoes, 3rd-person squad shooter, which is cool. Yeah. Watching it though, I was feeling man, it would be really cool to get Warhammer, like that character model in this game or something.
Yeah.
Like that as a DLC would be really, really sick.
Sure.
But yeah, Fireteam Elite. I'm glad that it's happening. I want them to remake or make another one of those Predator games where you are playing isometric multiplayer, because it just works so well. And I think their main issue was like I think they released it as like a full priced game. And honestly, if you release that as like a $20 game, you're gonna sell so many more copies and make it sort of like a peak, like you're having fun with your friends type thing. That would be 100% my vibe. So I remember playing that with my buddies and playing as a predator and just like messing with them while I was hiding up in the trees, and it was so much fun. But yeah,
Right on. Well, I don't know. I may get suckered into buying this because I think I like the genre. I think I'm in.
that's a fair one. It's a good one to like.
Yep. All right. Pressing right along. Discord Nitro subscribers are now getting access to Game Pass. So this is great for me because I am a Discord Nitro subscriber, and so if you are a Discord Nitro member, I think there's 2 levels of the subscription. There's a $2.99 and then there's a $9.99 level of the subscription. If you have the $9.99, the $10 a month level of Discord Nitro, you now have access to the starter edition of Xbox Game Pass, which includes a library of 50 plus console and PC games. And then the Game Pass Starter Edition also includes 10 hours of cloud gaming access per month, which is not really a lot, but I guess it's part of Microsoft's new Game Pass tiers since they've reorganized things and redone the prices. I mean, immediately, this is another great win for Xbox and their new CEO. So happy to see another positive step in the right direction. And yeah, this is really cool. I'm going to definitely, make use of this because I plan on staying subscribed to Discord Nitro. It's just an application that I use for a variety of things, and I don't want them to add ads. So I will happily pay for this so that they don't add ads. Although they kind of sort of have, but yeah.
Of course. That's great news. I think Game Pass, I think it still remains one of the best deals in games. I don't know how good it is for the gaming ecosystem as a whole,
Right.
but I love that it gives me the opportunity to play a lot of games that I might otherwise not have the opportunity to play. I think it gets more independent work seen pretty regularly. And obviously this week it's a great time because you can play Subnautica 2 the day that it launches with your friends.
Yeah.
So good for Discord.
Yeah, I will definitely be making use of this. All right, next up, some Marvel Rivals news.
Marvel Rivals. Come on, get on down into the creek. We're playing Marvel Rivals.
We got
together.
another X-Man for you.
I'm gonna be Magneto.
We got Cyclops has finally been announced. I feel like Cyclops was data mined in Marvel Rivals ages ago. And
like at day one, yeah.
Yeah, so we're finally getting him. He got a pretty good trailer, definitely made references to X-Men 97 and some other Cyclops stuff. But yeah, good to see him in the game. And then I'll be honest, I've been kind of disengaged from Marvel Rivals for a long time. And so I think I saw a video today of a T-Rex in the game.
Okay,
what is going on?
Here's the crazy thing. Let me tell you about this. So we won't be getting Cyclops for a little while. We will be getting him in the second half of the season. He is the 2.5 character.
I see.
Although he got the majority of the trailer, which makes sense. We are getting immediately Devil Dinosaur. So Devil Dinosaur is I think kind of recent character. The smartest person in the Marvel universe is this young African American girl named Moon Girl.
Okay.
It's Devil Dinosaur. So she's just like a young kid with a really great imagination, and I think she develops a portal. Devil Dinosaur and Moon Girl.
We gotta get the lore right.
And Moon Girl, yes. So she makes a portal. And brings over Devil Dinosaur. The two of them become best friends. They can kind of like communicate in their own way. So Devil Dinosaur seems pretty cool. He is coming across as a tank, or what, I forget what the name of the class
I
is.
should hope
Vanguard.
so. Yeah.
Yeah, he better be. I mean, we were all kind of hoping that Cyclops would be like kind of a tank and or even like a healer, like with his leadership mentality. But from the trailer that we saw, it seems like they're going all in on duelist.
He's come on. He's DPS. Is what power does Cyclops have? Like, I got nothing against Cyclops, but like, come on.
Yeah.
He shoots lasers from his eyes, and that's his bit.
Well, I mean, if we see in X-Men '97, they finally did him justice. He can take people to Pound Town. He's very good at punching and kicking. And
fighting. Okay.
He's very Well, that too. He also gets all of the telekinetic baddies in the Marvel universe. I think Psylocke, Emma Frost, obviously Jean Grey. And one of the reasons this is just fun lore that I'm exploring for everyone now.
Sure.
One of the reasons is that all of this the psychics are like, yeah, his brain is just like everything is really neatly compiled into different parts. And so it's led a lot of people to be like, oh, Cyclops is like autistic in the way that he like it's been like a thing that people have kind of championed, which is pretty cool. Mm-hmm. So I'm trying to put love on Cyclops' name because for the longest time, growing up watching the '97 show and then obviously the Fox movies, Cyclops kind of got clowned on a lot.
Yeah,
but
he's gonna get clowned on in Doomsday, so get ready for it.
Yeah, well, who knows? Maybe it's his time. But the thing that is cool about Cyclops is like, in the comics, he is one of the best leaders. Like, there's times where him and Xavier are having like a conflict of interest within the X-Men, mm-hmm. and he just goes like, "Get behind me, my X-Men," and the entire team goes with him because he has been the one on the forefront, leading, fighting. He also becomes like a really cool mutant radical for a while. It's a cool character, and I'm excited that we get to play as him. Hopefully, put some more respect on his name prior to his MCU debut.
Yeah, let's hope so. Yeah, well, I'm excited. I can't believe there's a dinosaur in the game as well. So good to know. And what was the last Marvel rival character before Devil Dinosaur that came out?
Black Cat was the most recent
Cat,
addition.
That's right. I never played as
she's,
Black Cat.
She's pretty interesting. She's like a duelist who kind of steals people's stuff, and you like... You have this ability where you can hit things at a distance, and then like you get this level up credit that you can use on different abilities. It's pretty fun.
Right on. All right, let's get into the biggest news that came out last week, and that is Starfox coming on back. So yeah, this was announced the day after we recorded our last episode, so bummer there, but I'm happy to talk about it now. The internet has been ripe with judgment for the look of Starfox. I was actually initially really excited when I saw this, thinking I was like, oh my God, this is going to be a new Starfox game. And, you know, they put Starfox in the Mario movie. And so it makes sense that they're trying to rebuild the brand now and all that. And then it was just another copy of the original Starfox game that I was really disappointed with. And then I think the biggest thing that everybody's complaining with online, aside from it being another remake, is just the general look and feel of the game, particularly the character models. I just, I mean, this is my personal take on it is just like, I'm not playing Starfox so that that Fox can look like a real fox. And it seems like the art direction was like, let's go for photorealism, and it's just like there is no photorealistic giant fox man. Just make him cartoony, and I didn't need it to be like exactly how it was in the Mario movie, but the Mario movie was definitely in the right direction of where it should be going. And I mean, everybody's like, oh, Starfox is like fat in this model, and it's like, yeah, that doesn't necessarily bother me that much, but it's more just the photorealism of like, I'm looking like a real fox, and it's just like, that's not necessary. Nobody is getting Starfox for that reason. So
I wouldn't even say he looks fat. He just looks kind of like, he looks like jacked in like a very realistic way for a dude. He's just like, bah. which is a bit wild. Because he's a pilot, he doesn't have need for that strength unless it's that other Star Fox game that's like a Turok game that I don't think ever came out. I don't remember.
I don't think so.
I think it's unfortunate timing because the Mario movie kind of gave Star Fox his star moment for a lot of fans.
You would think that
newer fans,
you'd think that timing is planned. Like,
Yeah.
let's have a Star Fox announcement since we just had him make an appearance in Mario. And honestly, like, Star Fox is not really the next character that I would have crossed over that franchise with. Like, I would have gotten like Kirby in there long before I got Star Fox in that movie. So I don't know. It's just it feels a bit weird. I feels like two teams worked very separately and did not talk at all. So
I think what's happening is we're experiencing what old Nintendo was like, which was very protective of their brand and very on point with how they were executing the different elements of their brand. This wouldn't have happened in the early 2000s Nintendo, and we are now seeing a Nintendo that is a little bit more proliferated amongst different avenues of, like, card games with Pokemon, movies now, games of service type things. So I think they have, in some instances, it's been a good thing that we now have, like, a Mario movie that they aren't too scorned by the Bob Hoskins, John Leguizamo film to, like, let people take another crack at it.
Yeah.
And I think it's cool that we're getting kind of a Smash Brothers cinematic universe. Spoilers for the Mario movie, from what I've heard, Mr. Game & Watch, Rob the Robot, Fox are in there, so they're kind of setting all this up.
Yeah, Yoshi.
For that. But additionally, you look at Smash Brothers Fox, and he looks a lot better than this Fox. Like, he's not photorealistic, he's a little cartoony, and I think that's fine for the world of this game.
The
ships don't look good. The ships don't look like... There's no point to make them photorealistic, because they're just triangles.
Yeah,
still.
It's just lean into the... What I was really disappointed with was the complete lack of, like, a lighting system, really. And, like, when you're remaking a game... That just seems like, look, if you're trying to improve the graphics, get a freaking lighting system in there, Like, it didn't look good. And I remember playing, I think it was the Wii version, because there was a Star Fox Zero, I think it was called. And, like, that game looked noticeably better, but I would say, like, this doesn't look that much far off than that version of the game. Yeah, it looks better than the Nintendo 64 version, but something, I guess, like a cool feature that we should mention that they did advertise is if you are using a USB camera, you can actually map your character, your facial movements, so you can actually talk as that character. So that's a little cool. You get the classic Star Fox box with the avatar in it right there. But yeah, I don't really, this to me feels like another, like, oh, do people care about this, the Star Fox anymore? And they're testing, they're testing to see the waters. But the reality is like, maybe people would care about Star Fox if you actually made a modern game that was new. And you could continue the Star Fox story and build the Star Fox universe. And you could even be like, you could even do a crossover and be like, oh, we have one level that, like, features, like, an element of Mario Galaxy in the game. And get those universes rolling over. Because Nintendo's been doing that the whole time. You brought up Super Smash Brothers. We've brought up, like, the Avengers and them doing, like, the Marvel thing and everything. It's so obvious that that's going to happen. But they have to line their ducks up or their foxes up in a row to make it feel like there was a plan, because right now it does not feel like there's a plan. So
I feel like there's a Star Fox game that you could update and easily make pretty good is like a many world Star Fox game. Maybe have the original game in there, but then after that you can fly off and, like, Mario Galaxy style, go to different planets, and maybe one of the planets is a Mario planet, and you're flying around. Sure, they're all, like, pre-described levels, but, like, you can play Starfox in ways that are outside of the first game. Because I know not a lot of people who are playing games and alive today played the original Starfox game. So it is easy to just port that over. But you got to add something to it, because people who have seen Starfox, they also know this game style, this genre is not really a thing anymore, and there's a good reason for it.
Yeah.
If you want to make a rail shooter and get my interest, make it a Panzer Dragoon game, and then I will play it. But until then, no, I don't care about Starfox.
Yeah, I see this and I'm like, Ratchet and Clank is just a better version of this. You know, Ratchet and Clank has all these levels you can fly around in a ship, and then it obviously is fantastic platformer gameplay. And I see this as a very much a missed opportunity to move the franchise forward. I know that the starships are very classic looking, but they're classic looking in a way that these are the starships that we designed with the technology that we had at the time, which was a bunch of polygons. And now in modern day, they just look like a bunch of flying Cybertrucks. And so, like, could you imagine if you played Starfox, a new Starfox game, you started out in the classic ship, and then, you know, partway through the game you get access to the new or the Starfox ship, where it still is like a little homage to the original, but it has a brand new design. It's bigger, so it's not just like an individual thing, or you could have like a co-pilot in there or something. So I think this is a big missed opportunity for Nintendo. And I also know that they've been struggling. They haven't met their sale quota, or what they were expected to sell for the Switch 2. So I don't think that Starfox is going to come in and fix that. I think this is just another thing that they can say is available on Switch 2. Unfortunately,
it's just another thing for them to be able to put out there, which sucks, because it means it seems like they're running out of ideas. If they're remaking Starfox, make another Mario game. You haven't made one since Odyssey, which launched with the Switch 1.
Yeah.
So hop to it.
I don't know. I think maybe they've gotten a bit lazy, and I just have or maybe the wave of Nintendo Switch stuff is just not come out yet, and we're just expecting too much too early. But I don't know. Also, to be fair, Sony's only got one exclusive coming out this year, so yeah.
Wait, which exclusive? Well, I mean, technically, isn't we've had one already, Saros.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Yes, that's correct. And I guess Ghost of Yote's multiplayer launched this year as well. So that's
no, you don't have to count that.
Okay. But yeah. All right. Well, I think that'll do it. Little bit of a short episode this week. Stay tuned when we are back next week to continue talking about the May video games. And I got to play something different this week. I got to mix it up and get off of Saros and Diablo, because they are very different games, but in the same way, they're very grindy. And I need something a little bit different flavor. So I'm eating the same dinner every night, it feels like. So, all right, we're going to wrap it up there. Thank you, everyone, for listening to this week's episode of the GGG Podcast, episode 121. If you enjoyed this episode, please feel free to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel at Golden Glazed Gaming. And if you are listening to the audio-only version on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, follow us over there as well. Also, if you are listening to us on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, particularly on Spotify, because I listened to us recently, and a while ago I approved ads to be put in the game, or in the podcast. I'm gonna tone that back a little bit, because Spotify definitely went in and front loaded our podcast with 2 minutes of ads. So I ain't having that.
No, thank you.
We're gonna trim that back.
We're not making any money on that. They can get those ads the hell out of here. Get out of here.
That's what I'm talking about.
Audible? I don't know who advertises their
Spot. Yeah, I don't know. It's random. All right. Peace out, everybody. Peace out, Phil. And we will see you next week.
Peace.